And the 2017 season begins with a victory for the Weslaco East Wildcats, 62-0 over the Sharyland Rattlers. Hello everybody, we're live at Bobby Lackey Stadium where the fans are still here enjoying a victory tonight. And it was a big one for Weslaco East, Mike Gonzalez.
Only one word to describe this game, Carlos. Wow, what a start for the Wildcats. I mean, in all phases of the game, from the offense to the defense, even Chucky got a few field goals in. The defense, including the scrimmages, have not allowed a single point.
Yeah, a shutout for the defense and a big-time win for Weslaco East. We'll be here for the next 20 minutes or so with the Miriam Guerra Allstate Insurance post-game show. Right now, let's take a look at some of the highlights because it started off for Weslaco East on the ground like they usually do, and it's J.C. Vargas. This was 3rd down and 10 to go, and they run the Wildcat. And it's J.C. right here taking it first to the right-hand side, and then he gets the 1st down and a whole lot more, 49 yards for the score. And the 2017 Wildcats are on the board 7-0, the guys in black. Then Gonzalez, a short run right here, making it 14-0 Weslaco East. They said they're going to pass the ball. They do. The first one, a touchdown right here. The flea flicker, Lefevre to JC, 21-0 Weslaco East. And Lefevre wasn't done. Another pass right here. This one in the 3rd quarter. Watch JC. Bounces out of his hands. The concentration just stays in bounds for the score to make it now 31-0. And then we got one more right here. Lefevre, 3 touchdown passes. This one to the senior Jaime Banuelos. He takes it in, making it 38-0 Weslaco East. And they go on to win big time by a final score of 62-0. Weslaco East just, they said they were going to come out, maybe pass a little bit. That they're seeing a lot of confidence in Richard Lefevre. He ends up passing 12 of 23 for 214 yards and 3 touchdowns for Lefevre.
What a great start to his season, Carlos. I mean, last year he threw for, I would say, no more than 500 yards, and he already has over 200 this season with a couple of touchdown passes. J.C. Vargas, unbelievable. 2 touchdowns on the ground, 2 touchdowns through the air, making spectacular catches in the corner of the end zone, just like he did in the scrimmage up there with the pylon, and then here just keeping the concentration and being able to haul the ball in, stay in bounds for the touchdown, and Roy Pedraza being Roy, and then how about Freddy Gonzalez getting a touchdown himself? I mean, just unbelievable, Carlos. What a great start to the season.
Yeah, it certainly was. J.C. Vargas, 5 rushes for 98 yards, 4 touchdowns for him. He also had 2 rushes for 56 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 catching touchdowns. Roy Pedraza, 20 carries for 112 yards and an excellent game for them. Let's bring on the head coach of the Weslaco East Wildcats, Coach Mike Burgett.
Welcome aboard, Coach. Congratulations.
Congratulations, a 62-0 victory. I know that people across the valley said this was going to be a good game. Sharyland is a good team, but you guys just totally dominated the performance tonight.
Well, you know, we had 2 scrimmages. Sharyland had 1. I know they was a little bit rusty. They're one of the best programs, and not only the best programs, Coach Adami's one of the best coaches in the valley. You know, we jumped on him, and sometimes when it rains, it pours, but he'll come back. I guarantee you, Sharyland will be in the playoff. He's a great coach. I got a great program over there.
Coach, your defense, as I mentioned right now, haven't not allowed a single point. I'm talking about the first teamers. I know Donna North scored with the 2nd and 3rd teamers late in the scrimmage, but how about your defense? 8 starters back and are playing terrific.
Yeah, those guys didn't play bad today. I liked how they come off blocks. I like how they caused turnovers. Our defense, you know, with that many guys back, and everybody keeps saying 8 returning starters. There's about 12 guys that started at least 1 game over there, maybe 2 games. So, you know, we got a lot of starters, and our defensive coaching staff did a great job, and our kids like to hit.
Coach Lefevre, 12 of 23 for 214 yards passing, 3 touchdowns passing as well. Is this an indication of what we're going to see for the rest of the season?
No. I called all running plays again. He checked it.
I guess they're running sprints tomorrow, huh?
Yeah, you know, everybody gives us heck. We're going to do what's best. Rich, I thought Rich was off tonight. We missed some wide open receivers, but the ones that he hit, you know, he did a good job. He settled down the second half. We want to work on our pass game, and we're going to continue to work on our pass game. And we got a bunch of guys that can catch the ball and do something with it. So, you know, we're going to pass the ball this year.
Something that stood out to me on the offensive side of the ball, Coach, is it looked like you guys were a little bit more up-tempo compared to years past. A lot of no huddle. And, I mean, it was up-tempo, up-tempo, up-tempo. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Well, I think our kids are in great shape. Thanks to these parents out here, they let their kids come in the summer, and they're in great shape. Our kids have been running, they've been hitting, and, they've been lifting weights. And, we carry that over a little bit. So, we're in good condition.
Coach, what about, carrying that ranking of number 2 coming into this game? How did that affect your preparation at all for this game?
We don't look at that because I don't believe we're number 2. I'm sure if you go ask San Benito, they're going to tell you they're not number 1. We haven't done anything this year. We won 1 game. I don't really look at rankings. At the end of the year, I'll talk about, where we should be or where we could be. And, we're not going to – there's no team. Look at Harlingen. They was ranked, 3rd? And they got beat last night.
They lost last night.
On any given night, this team that you watch tonight, Weslaco East, can lose to anyone on our schedule. On any given night, this team can beat anybody on our schedule. It depends on how that ball bounces sometimes. So, we're very happy with what we did tonight, but that game's over. The clock shows 0-0-0, so we got to get ready for McCallum Memorial. They're big. They're huge. We went and watched them in spring. They got Division I kids over there. So we're going to have to find a way to slow them down and do the best we can against that good team.
Absolutely. All right, Coach, we're going to go ahead and let you go. We've got a couple of other players. Congratulations.
Thanks, KWES, for doing everything. You guys keep doing a great job. Thank you.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. Once again, it is Weslaco East, the Wildcats, winning 62-0. Coming on to the stage now,
What's
JC
up, JC?
Vargas. Congratulations. Great game. Also, Hector Saenz had also a good game tonight. Hector Saenz, wide receiver. You guys practice catching the ball, but actually y'all are passing the ball a little bit here in the game. How did it feel to be out there catching some passes from Lefevre?
It felt real good, but none of it's possible if the line doesn't block, Richard doesn't make the throw. It's a team effort. We all do it together, so no one can take one credit. It's a team effort.
JC, I want to ask you about that touchdown catch that you got right here, right close by us in the 3rd quarter. What was going through your mind? How were you able to maintain your concentration?
I just kept my eyes on the ball, and I knew where I was on the field, and made sure I brought my feet down and came down with the ball. And it was a hell of a throw from Richard.
Now, when you guys were thinking about this game, coming into tonight, yesterday, and did y'all think that y'all were going to win 62-0?
We came out with the mindset to just play youth football, do what we can to win. We get 5 yards before 50, and we just happened to pull up 62 points. It was a great game.
I'll tell you what, guys, in years past, Coach Burgett would spread the ball out, throw. But, man, he brought it tonight, didn't he? He brought it into this first game. He gave you all an opportunity to run that spread offense, and you guys did a pretty good job. You guys want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, we've been working on throwing since last offseason, and we plan to bring it out more this year, so expect a lot of throwing this year.
All right, so what's next for you guys? I know you guys got McCallum Memorial next week. How confident are you? Got to be riding sky high going into that game.
It feels good, but come tomorrow, we're going to condition and get our minds on McCallum Memorial, and hopefully we're not going to let it get to our heads and focus on the task ahead.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. We'll let you go.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Congratulations. JC Vargas, Hector Saenz. We haven't talked much about Hector, but expect some good things from Hector Saenz, and of course JC, one of the 4-year starters for Weslaco East. And coming up on stage, the quarterback, Richard Lefevre. How about a big hand for those of y'all that are out here watching this live? Richard having himself a good game. And Richard, we talked about passing the ball, and of course the coach having confidence in you. It seemed like that happened here tonight.
Yes, sir. It certainly did, but there's a lot we have to work on,
What are some things do you feel like you guys need to work on going into next week? You win 62-0, and it's hard to find. But you guys are on the field. You guys know. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
To be honest, I think we kind of played terrible.
Okay.
We have a lot of work on the ball security. For one, we had to work on that a lot, and timing better. We had to work on that a lot. But our offensive line, very proud of them because they stayed composed and they kept their blocks on. It looked a little. It made it look like they didn't for a little bit, but they really did.
Awesome. So talk to me a little bit about when he started calling the pass play during a real game. Did you think to your mind, all right, here we go, let's get this done? Or you were just like, okay, yeah, we got this?
The intensity picked up. I thought, we got to get this done, so we could open up the run lanes for Roy Pedraza so he could get it.
Sure, absolutely.
His momentum going.
And you guys, the tempo, it seems like it's changed compared to years past. It's more no huddle. How do you like that, and how do you feel about that?
I like anything Brigade does. I'm not going to argue with him. I'm not going to disagree. I like it a lot, even if we didn't do no huddle, but it keeps the defense on their toes, and it's kind of hard for them to adjust.
Last year, this was a much, much closer game. 21-14, I believe, was the final score. Did you expect to win by 62 points tonight?
No, sir. Actually, I did. We did not. We thought we were gonna have. I mean, they played throughout the whole game. They played tough.
Right.
But
Absolutely.
we didn't think that we're gonna score 62. We went off based off what Coach Brigade always says, or what's here at East is out hit them, and I guess that just happened tonight.
Did y'all have any doubt at all that you guys were? I know you guys are ready, but you were prepared, or you had enough of some tests, because I know y'all played. You played Brownsville Lopez on a scrimmage, and then it was Donna North in a scrimmage, lower classification teams. Did you feel like, okay, that's enough of a preparation, we're ready to go up against a top team like Sharyland?
Yes, sir, we did, but our coaches really did a heck of a job this week preparing us, getting our scouts and everything, and the key players to work on.
Okay, 214 yards passing, and you were 12 of 23 for passing for 3 touchdowns. How does that sound?
Sounds terrible.
Would you want to pass for 300 yards? And, of course, you want to probably get that complete percentage up a little bit higher.
I'd just rather come out with a W, no matter what it is.
Absolutely.
That's
All right.
That's the right attitude right there.
All right, so we're ready for McAllen Memorial. I know last year that was a huge game, went into overtime. What are y'all expecting next week? Because these guys, like Coach Brigade says, they have D1 players on the other side.
They have D1 players, yes, but the ball's not round. It could bounce either way. So,
Sure.
I mean, we just got to go out there and out-hit them and just play hard and with all our heart, and we'll get the job done.
That's going to be a good game. It's here at home this year.
Yes, sir, it is.
All right.
All right, Richard.
All right, thank you very much, Richard. Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for joining us.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for
Thank you.
joining. How about a big hand for Richard Lafever, for those of you guys here that are watching it, and I'd like to thank everybody for watching this post-game show. 62-0, Weslaco East victorious over the Sharyland Rattlers. We got some more scores to pass along. We'll get those to you in a minute, but right now let's bring on one of the defensive players, Gerald Garza.
Congratulations,
out of
Gerald.
the field. He's got his own fan club here. Gerald, how you doing? How did it feel to be out there? I saw you putting some pressure on the quarterback, wreaking havoc all over the place. How did it feel to be out there?
It feels really good to be back and running around and being on the field with my brothers.
You guys have not allowed a single point, a single touchdown, including the scrimmages, and you guys shut out a really good Sharyland team. And I know they're down a quarterback right now, but I mean, still, the fact that you guys were able to shut out a team like Sharyland and then haven't given up a touchdown in the scrimmages, how does it make you all feel? Does it add a little bit more motivation going forward?
Yes, sir. I kept telling them that I wanted to keep them at 0.
Yeah, you definitely wanted to keep that. Is that one of your all's goals? You know, for every team has goals going to the game. You know, the offense, 300 yards. You know, the defense, keep them under 7 points or shut them out. Is that one of your all's goals? Is that one of them coming to this game?
Well, yes, and go 3-and-out and give the ball back to our offense.
All right.
Something Coach Brigade said during a training camp was that when you guys lost in the playoffs against Cibolo Steel, you guys couldn't wait to start the season. Do you feel that way too? Because, I mean, the way you guys are playing in all phases of the football, man.
Yes, sir, we did. It felt good to be back on the field already after, like, a couple of months of training that we had and the 2-a-days and all that.
Do you feel like that defense has just improved so much more from last year? I know you have, 8 players coming back from last year, all that experience. You're here, you're healthy, ready to play the whole season. Do you think you guys are better than last year, which would be scary because y'all were pretty good last year?
Well, honestly, yes, I feel like we're a little better than last year.
All right.
What about the new turf? Let's talk about the new turf. Usually when there's something like that added, there's a lot of slipping and sliding. Now that you played a whole game, were you guys pretty comfortable out there?
Yeah, it's a nice turf. Yeah, it's nice to be out there.
Okay. All right, Gerald, we'll let you go. Thank you very much. Defensive end, Gerald Garza for the Weslaco East. It is defensive end, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you looked at me like, no, I play defensive tackle. But defensive end, Gerald Garza for the Weslaco East Wildcats. Congratulations, great game tonight.
Great game.
Go out and celebrate a little bit because Coach Brigette's going to make you guys run a lot tomorrow.
They better be ready.
All right, Mike, so let's talk a little bit about this contest. And if you could take us through the highlights one more time. It all started off, once again, with J.C. Vargas. It was 3rd down and 10, and they decided to run it, and he scores a 49-yard touchdown.
Well, yeah, early in the game, they got off to a slow start. Richard was a little off, and the receivers couldn't
there was
get-
a
he had
fumble?
and so that was something else that Coach Burgett decided to heck with it. Let's run Wildcat. Let's give JC the ball. Let him make a play, and sure enough, the hole was right there in the middle. And, I mean, if you consider, Carlos, it's a young offensive line with a couple of new starters in there, and yet look at the holes. Look at how big they were, and JC just took it, and we see Freddie Gonzalez right here. We see Roy.
Here's the pass to JC. Were you surprised with his flea flicker pass at all?
I kind of was, I kind of wasn't, and I kind of was. It's just Coach Burgett and getting to know him. I mean, man, sometimes he'll make plays out of nowhere. And, yeah, I mean, considering the situation, it did surprise me a little bit. But, man, they executed it beautifully, and I think it did catch Sharyland by surprise.
All right, and then here was another one right here, and this one was a deep pass to Jaime Banuelos, who made this catch. And you do see the pass, but Lefevre throwing, like we talked about during the summer, with so much confidence.
A lot more confidence. I mean, yeah, there's some things that they would like to correct, but, I mean, I don't know. Him throwing 200 yards, him throwing a couple of touchdowns, no interceptions. That's key right there, no interceptions. Yeah, he had a fumble. Did he lose a fumble? I don't even remember.
Yeah,
he lost a fumble. Okay, so
early
they got
on
to
in the
correct
first
that. But no interceptions, 2 touchdown passes. That's a really good ratio and a really good start.
Now, this is a game where we thought it was going to be a lot closer. Last year, Weslaco won by touchdown. Sharyland always has a strong program, and they probably do have a strong program. But Weslaco just caught fire here tonight on all facets of the game because, like you said, even Chucky had a couple of field goals.
No, that's right. And if you remember, Coach Burgett telling us that the kids couldn't wait to hit the field, and it started right after the playoff loss against Cibolo Steel. These guys were just on a mission in the offseason. They hit the weights, they hit the conditioning. They just look so much more confident and with all these starters back, with all these experience. And it's like Coach Burgett said, I mean, even though there's 8 starters on defense, they have up to 12 guys that started games. And so just all that right there, that formula right there really showed tonight. I mean, even though there's still a couple of things they need to work on, I mean, 62-0 to open the game. And I know Sharyland had a backup quarterback. It's still very impressive.
Yeah, and there was question marks about, okay, is this team prepared? Are they ready to go? Because they did have a couple of scrimmages. They looked flawless. They looked excellent in those scrimmages. But they played against some lower classifications. So that's one of the reasons why, well, we're not sure how well Weslaco is going to play. Are they that prepared? But, man, they just came out gangbusters tonight. A couple of other scores to pass along. San Benito was behind against Laredo United. They came back to win that contest 23-20. So that's important because they're in the 32-6A. Economides right now is leading Hanna 19-14 in the fourth quarter. Ed Calchelsa is leading Los Fresnos 24-14. Harlingen South beats McAllen. Look out for Harlingen South as they beat a good team from McAllen 31-21. Check that. It's in the fourth quarter, 31-21. Rivera beats Porter 35-14. And, of course, we talked about Mission Veterans beating Harlingen 31-26. So San Benito still the cream of the crop, I guess you could say, or is it Weslaco? We'll find out. They get to play against each other, and that is, what is so exciting and so important about Texas high school football. Let's bring in a couple of guys over here who are coming in to talk to us from McFarland, USA. A couple of the cross-country runners are here.
Welcome, guys, to our set.
Tommy Valles, and Johnny Samaniego. Johnny Samaniego got a couple of microphones for you guys right here. And these guys, they depicted their lives. They was it 1986? Were y'all with the cross-country team?
1987 is the state championship.
1987 with the McFarland. They had a movie that was based on them. In fact, it was on last night on TNT. McFarland USA was based on these two guys. And they're from California. They've never been to a Texas high school football game. So what was it like, guys?
Well, you know what? When we got invited over here, Johnny said, it'd be great to catch a football game.
Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights. And we got invited to this game. And we've been here before talking to the Weslaco School District, the convocation. And it was an honor for us, and it was a great game for you guys tonight.
I'm sure you guys had an opportunity to talk to the athletes. specifically the cross-country runners here at Weslaco East. What were some things that you shared with them?
You know what? That nothing's impossible if you put your mind to it. And you know what? Everybody has challenges in life. And, you know, sports brings out the fire to compete. And so challenges in life can be overcome if you never give up.
Yeah, and just to kind of sort of, not to repeat with Thomas, but you guys have a wonderful stadium. I mean, this whole, we were invited into the lounge up there, and just your camera crew from the ESPN set you have here. I mean, we're at awe. We're at awe from the stadium, the scoreboard. I mean, this is, at our school, we have grass, and at that we hardly have a scoreboard. And so just being here is an honor, and I would like to thank Leti Garcia.
Absolutely.
Cheerleader
Cheerleader sponsor at Weslaco East. Yes, and I know you guys are coming down here, but y'all want to just, hang out here at Weslaco East. Y'all going to be actually across the valley with some other, are y'all going to be at a track meet tomorrow, cross-country meet at Donna North?
Tomorrow we will be at Donna North at they're hosting their cross-country invitation.
How often do you guys come to the Valley? I know you guys visited us last year for convocation. Do you guys make a lot of trips over here, or was this just your second time, maybe third?
This is our actually fourth time to the Rio Grande Valley. And every time we come down and we meet different people and we get invited back, we still have day jobs that we have to go back to California. So, we have to plan things out with our work to get here. But this is kind of our second home now.
And it is in Texas, the Valley. The Rio Grande Valley has always been wonderful to us.
So what would you say to those kids? Because you guys came out of nowhere. The McFarland team came out of nowhere. Anybody that watches the movie knows that, it was on the lower income bracket as far as, the community. But you guys ended up winning a state championship. So coming out of nowhere to do that.
Well, you know what? It's a small community. We won a state championship, and we want people to know that, if champions can come out of McFarland, champions can come out of anywhere. If you put in the right work out on the field, but also through education and higher education. So we encourage kids to use sport as an avenue to open doors for you at the college level.
And Mr. White, Blanco, in the movie, he's our coach, and one of his slogans was, "It's all in the attitude." And he stressed, waking up in the morning, choose your attitude and don't let your environment choose it for you. And so he always told us that there's one thing you can only control your attitude, and you can't control everything around you, but your attitude you can always control.
Absolutely. Some great advice. And thank you very much. We'll leave you guys with that.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you for being here. And
thank you for being
also
here.
Thank you for being part of the coin flip out in the middle of the football field.
That was an honor.
That doesn't happen for everybody.
I think that's be once in a lifetime for us. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. All right, and have fun at Donna North tomorrow. Once again, a final here, 62-0, Weslaco East. Mike, let's kind of wrap this up, but let's start talking about next week, because that game against McCallum Memorial, that's going to be an important contest.
Oh, big time. I mean, you talk about game of the week. It should be the game of the week. I mean, we're talking week 2 early in the year. I mean, this is one of the bigger games, I think, in the Valley. I mean, we're talking two teams, top 5 across the Valley here in Weslaco. I can't wait.
Yeah, and Weslaco East does have a couple of things, maybe they need to work on. Coaches will take that film and they will dissect it and take a look at it. A couple of turnovers they'll have to work on. Some passes, 12 of 23, it's good for 214 yards, but I'm sure, of course, Lefevre would like to be a little bit more accurate with his passes, if possible. But you got to like the way this team is playing. If they really do get this passing game, if it continues week in and week out, this team is going to be unstoppable.
Absolutely, Carlos. I mean, they already have the running game, probably the best running team in the Valley. And if he can just, tweak things on the passing game, make those corrections, and, if Lefevre could throw 50, 60%, versus under 50%, man, this offense is going to be historic.
All right, well, that'll wrap it up for the Miriam Guerra Allstate Insurance post-game show. A final in this one. Weslaco East wins it by a final score of 62-0. For Mike Gonzalez and everyone here at KWES, good night, everybody.